Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Knock na waha ay barisha Allah hawalakim la atam. Call Shabawai Baharcha. Wakaksho Yahweh Bahashmi Hawashah. Hey, we the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashmi Hawashah to preach to you so called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. First and foremost, we want to say, Call Halayim La, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bah,
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. A double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the taught us truth and rule well. And much respect to you brothers out there pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. All
Shalom.
right, so we just want to get into we just wanted to get into some current events. You know, like it's a major Arctic blast. You know, so we're gonna start with that article.
This is from RT News. It says, once in a generation, winter storm wallops U.S. And it reads, more than 1.4 million homes and businesses across the country have lost power service amid high winds and plunging temperatures. Continuing on, it says, a massive winter cyclone touted as once in a generation winter storm by meteorologists has knocked out electricity service to millions of Americans and forced cancellations of nearly 14,000 U.S. flights
I'm gonna get
amid. Uh,
I'm gonna get a quick precept because it said once in a generation.
mhm.
All right, so basically we coming up into a time. It said once in a generation, but um, it said that the plagues will happen more and more. You know, as the before the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua returns. You know, so we coming up into Jacob's trouble. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Yaqub's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Or the elect is going to be saved out of it. You know, the elect is going to
Right,
still go through some things, but they're going to be saved out of it. But more and more things like this is going to happen, and this only the beginning. It's the tip of the iceberg. You know,
right. Yeah,
got another.
we're just in the beginning stages of it.
Yep,
Want me to
got
continue on?
I got another one.
All right, Khan.
This is Tahoyim also Psalms chapter 9 and verse 16. It says the Lord is known by his judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. You see, so the Lord is known by his judgment. You see, and as these things start to occur, um, the overwhelming majority of the people is going to realize that it's the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah bringing these plagues. You know,
Hmm.
yep.
Mhm. Hey, I got one to back you up.
Okay.
This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord and Yahweh hath not done it? So that just further backing you up, bro. Hey, the Most High is behind everything, man. He's behind all the deaths that occur. He's behind, like, hey, if any deaths occur during this whole what's it called, the bomb cyclone, it's
Arctic blast.
all cyclone, yeah, it's all the will of the Lord. You
Yep.
know, he even if it is Esau behind, using their, what's it called, that one shit in Alaska.
That little weather system.
Yeah, that little weather system control thing, right? So even if it is that thing, the harp, that's what it is,
Yeah,
harp.
harp. Yeah, harp. Yep.
And even if it is them using it, ultimately is the Most High that's behind it, that's allowing it to occur. So just further backing on what you were saying. But when we go back to that article,
Con.
continuing on, it says, uh, Winter Storm Elliott has pounded more than half of the U.S. this week, leaving upward of 1.4 million homes and businesses without power as of midday on Friday, according to Power Outage US. The storm grounded about 7,800 flights on Friday after forcing 6,000 cancellations on Thursday. Airlines have already canceled 2,400 flights for Saturday and Sunday, and over 48,000 flights have been delayed since Thursday. Flight aware tracking data showed. It said the storm brought sharp plunges in temperatures as an enormous cloud front ranked across the ranked across the U.S. and met up with the warmer air in the east.
I got a
Yeah.
precept.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Nahum, also Nahum chapter 3 and verse 19, because you mentioned that Basically everything is shutting down, um, and they having to shut down businesses. But just going into that, a lot of that is gonna have to do with their economy, so they're gonna lose money. It's
Right.
Nahum chapter 10, verse 19. There is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous, and that wound being the economy. The dollar is already failing, so it's already feeling the effects of the dollar being inflated and not having no value to it. It says that there is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee, for upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? You see, that's when to grab the point that thy wound is grievous to Babylon the Great. And this is being applied to, or this is talking about Nineveh, but it can also be applied to Babylon the Great, America.
Right. Right. Yeah. And like the brother was saying, man, hey, and more you're gonna start seeing these wounds start taking place here in the soils of America, man. Like the brother mentioned earlier, this is just the beginning. Like,
Yep.
imagine what's coming next, man. What was gonna come down more further down the future? The scriptures say that the days that's coming is gonna be a time like no other. And
Yep.
it says this is a once in a generation storm. Like, man, and we're already seeing with the outcome of it. We're seeing the whole Midwest getting straight up, slammed with this ice storm,
Hmm.
power outages, businesses having to shut down. I mean, hey, and we're just in the beginning, man. It ain't even 2023 yet, and we're already seeing the how bad it's getting, man.
And if I can mention, the Midwest is like a major source of grain for the United States,
Mm.
and grain goes into the bread, and you make a lot of stuff with bread, cereal, actual bread, and everything that bread comes from, or everything that bread makes. Again, the Midwest is a major supplier of bread.
Con. Yeah, that's where you get all your agriculture.
Hmm.
That's where you get most of the farms over there, like you said, the water. You
Yep.
know, so hey, most of anything having to do with agriculture comes from the Midwest, and them being in this state that they're in, man, like that, like you said, man, hey, this is going to slow down production. This is going to slow down businesses, slow down these truckers from getting from point A to point B. I
Hmm.
mean, hey, this is a pretty much a halt on being as far as business wise.
Yep. You keep going.
Except for what I mentioned earlier of if Esau um, if Esau is behind it, the whole harp thing. Ultimately, it's the Lord. I just wanted to bring this out real quick. This
Hmm.
is Psalm 17 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked." So ultimately, the Most High is using the wicked, these wicked ass, these Esau, to fulfill his agenda, to fulfill the Most High's purpose. You know, so like the brother, like we've been saying, man. Hey, ultimately, this is all the will of the Lord.
Yep.
But continuing on in that article, it says, the storm brought sharp plunges in temperatures as an enormous cloud front ranked across the U.S. and met up with a warmer air to the east. Heavy rains fell in some areas ahead of the front, leading to a flash freeze that brought down power lines and made roads treacherous. High winds, heavy snow brought blizzard conditions to the northern plains and Great Lakes regions. Hey, that just shows you right there, man. Hey, them roads are treacherous, it says. So these truckers, man, right now they're parked on the side of the road, man. They ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
All them goods, they're just sitting there.
Yep. And then not to mention, um, going into the diesel shortages, like they can't like it's a shortage of diesel, so it's
Mm,
more difficult for truckers to actually transport the stuff, and then those that can transport the stuff, they can't do anything because it's this Arctic blizzard that's out.
con, con. Continuing on, it says temperature variations were dramatic on opposite sides of the front. For instance, it was 55 degrees Fahrenheit in Boston around 2 p.m. on Friday, compared to a -1 degree in Pittsburgh. Damn, man, that shit's freezing. It says the temperature plunged to -24 in Denver, a 30-year low, and wind chills slid to -50. Damn, in parts of Montana.
Yep.
It says freezing temperatures reached as far south as the areas such as western New York were forecast to get as much as 3 feet of snow, according to the National Weather Service. It says FedEx and UPS warned that Christmas packages will arrive late because of the storm.
Hey, hey, I got a quick one real fast. This is Amos chapter 5 and verse Slakia. Verse 20.
21.
Yep. This is I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So the Lord hates Christmas, man. The Lord is not with these pagan ass holidays, you see, and that's the Lord showing that he's not with these holidays. Because
That's right.
them gifts is being delivered late, you know.
God. Hey, bro, you mind reading further down?
Yeah, I got you.
God.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Keep going.
Yeah, come on, keep going.
Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. This is the last one, I think.
Have ye offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Yasha'Allah?
Salakia, read one more, Salakia.
But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Shayan your images, the star of your God, which ye have made to yourselves.
Right. So when you go back into the history of Christmas, it really stems back to the worship of Molech. Right. Now, when you go further back towards the Roman times, they worship Saturnalia, or the worship of Saturn.
Yep.
And I got a quick article. Well, I guess like a part of an article I want to read just to further clarify that. This is from SusanCAnthony.com. I mean, that's the name of the website, but it says the Greek equivalent to the Roman god Saturn is Zeus, and the Babylonian equivalent is Molech. You see, that's the same idol that is mentioned here in that verse.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the same equivalent to Saturn, which is what y'all Babylonians are worshiping right now, man. It's Saturnalia, Christmas. Yep. It all goes back to this worship of Molech. So it says, according to mythology, Kronos envied the father. This is going into some mythology, but skip that. It says in about 60 BC, Greek historian Diodorus Siculus wrote the following description of an idol to Kronos, which is equivalent to Saturn or Molech. It says there was in their city a bronze image extending its hands, palms up and sloping toward the ground, so that each of the children, when placed thereon, rolled down and fell into a sort of a gaping pit filled with fire. It says, going back to the Old Testament times, the same God was worshipped in the same way under the name of Molech. This is Rashi, a Jewish sage who lived in 1100 AD, described the worship of Molech. It says, Topheth is Molech, which was made of brass, and they heated him for his lower parts, and his hands being stretched out and made hot, they put the child between his hands, and it was burnt. So this is the same thing that y'all, like I said, y'all Babylonians are doing this day, man. Y'all are putting your children and on the lap of Santa Claus, You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Which is the exact same thing as the spiritual. It's like a spiritual sacrifice. You know, y'all pretty much doing the same thing that y'all forefathers did in the past. But reading down a little bit more, it says, uh, where was I? It says, and made hot, and they put the child between his hands, and it was burnt. When it vehemently cried out, but the priest beat a drum that the father might not hear the voice of his son, and his heart might not be moved, Topheth made a meant a high place used for human sacrifice. So Saturnalia evolved into Christmas, and Saturn evolved into Santa. It said a red hot giant who holds crying children in his arms.
Man,
It says whose festival is held at the winter solstice and involves incense, festivity, and exchanging of gifts.
I
There you
got
go, man. Come on, go ahead, bro.
I got two precepts for you. It's
Come on.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18. It says, "What profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it, the molten image and the teacher of lies, and the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols.
Mm.
Woe unto him that saith to the wood, Awake, to the dumb stone, Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver. There is no breath at all in the midst of it."
That's right, man. All these people are worshiping are dumb idols, man. It's all imaginary, um, really demonic entities. Is ultimately what they're worshiping, man.
Yep,
Because um, the true power source is Yahweh, right?
yep.
Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah. That's the true power source. So by these people over here worshiping or celebrating Christmas, they're really celebrating these ancient uh, uh, pagan idols, right?
Yep.
And they're over here putting it under the guise of, oh, is it's for the kids. Oh, it's Jesus' birthday. Oh, we ain't doing nothing wrong. We just out here having a good time.
Yep.
This is and that, but not knowing they don't know what they worship.
Hmm. And the scriptures get into that. Jake is all up into these pagan holidays. They don't even know the origins of it. You know.
Right. Hmm. Oh, and I want to get one just to back you up on that. This is Exodus 23:2. It says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil,
Hmm.
neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment." So pretty much, hey man, just because you see all of America doing it doesn't mean doesn't give you an excuse, doesn't give you a permission to go out and do it, man. Especially, and this is going to y'all, Jake, man, y'all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who think that just because you live here and y'all grew up in these customs, that it's okay to continue to do it, right? Like y'all need to snap out of that mindset. Otherwise, hey, the Most High is gonna fuck you up. That's the reason why the Most High sent out that storm over there in the Midwest, man.
Con.
That's why
That's
a
a
lot of y'all out of power and freezing your asses off over there. So
Yep.
like it, bro. You got it.
Con. That set me up perfectly. This is Jeremiah, also Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. It
Hmm.
says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon." All right. And it's not talking about, you know, getting on a plane, getting on a bus. Well, you can't get on a damn bus, but get on a ship and flee America. No, it's talking about spiritually. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10 says, "Arise ye and depart." You're gonna do this spiritually. You
Hmm.
Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians. It says, "And deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." The Lord's gonna judge this place because it has great sin. It says,
Sure.
"Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, being her philosophies. Therefore, the nations are mad." All right. And being that they took on the ways of this place, now they're seeing that this place doesn't have the customs and the traditions of this place doesn't have any avail or any benefit. Now that they're angry, it says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed." All right. And this place is going to fall quickly. We see in the fall of it. It
Right.
says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let everyone go into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All right, and her judgment has reached to heaven because this place is going to get a great punishment because of her sins, the iniquities, the traditions and customs is what's going to get this place judged. You know, and Jake is taking hold of the traditions. They don't want to repent. You know, and they're going to be judged for that.
That's right. That's right. Uh, I got one more. This is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, "Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." So this is to y'all Israelites, man, y'all Jakes, right? Verse 2, it says, "Thus said Yahweh, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." Right, man. So the Most High gave you an order, man, not to follow after the ways of the heathen, man, to separate yourselves. He made y'all a holy people, man, which means separate. So y'all shouldn't be mingled with, joining hand in hand with these heathen, man, especially following after their customs. But verse 3, it says, "For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hand, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not." So what is that? What is that, man? That's Christmas. That's that damn Christmas tree that most people put in the living room that eventually catches fire, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, soon enough we're gonna see how many people end up dying because the damn Christmas tree ends up catching fire in their house, and that's all judgment.
Yep.
And hey, and most of the people that I see that they end up their house end up getting burned down because of the damn Christmas tree is mostly Jake, man.
Mm.
So that goes to show you, hey, the Most High is not pleased with your damn traditions, with your customs, with your damn celebrations, all these festivities, your what's the name? What did it say? Your feast days, right?
Yep. Days of solemn assemblies.
Solemn assemblies, right? He ain't a he doesn't like that, man. So he's gonna end up judging y'all for that shit. And you
Yep.
got the man, the Lord, out here telling y'all to depart from that shit, man. And y'all want to be stubborn and hard headed. All right, man. Judgment is gonna come to your house. Judgment is gonna come to your doorstep, man.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
You got something else, or you want to finish the article out?
That was it on the article.
Okay, Con. Well, that was pretty much it. You close it out.
All right, Con. Well, hopefully this lesson was edifying to y'all brothers, and we're gonna close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahaha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, we're gonna say Shalom.
Shalom.